Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, as you have seen in thumbnail, like we are going to create exactly like a car. Okay, a car model in Creo parametric. So we are not going to create all the parts inside the car, including the engine, seat, and some other accessories which are all available in the car. We just are going to create a model for the car, and then we are going to create some belt mechanism for that, and then we are going to rotate, or we are going to generate our car, right? So let's get started. So at first, here I'm going to create some 5 to 6 more parts. So I'm just going to select the working directory, and let me just create a new folder for this design. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go on and start creating our parts. Okay, so just going on the new and pick the default template, and this will be my core body. Okay, so then let's click on OK, and the unit as permanent spots already ABS. Okay, so I have not practiced anything for creating this car. This is my first time that I am going to create a car, so forgive me if I take too much time for creating this car. Okay, so sorry for that. So let's get started. Okay, so at first I'm going to take a reference from the image, so let me select the images, and I'm going to import the image for the right plane first, and that will be my side view. Okay, so let me go for the right view here, and scaling as 1.1, and then I'm going to rotate it as a horizontal view, and then let's drag it towards the center. Okay, yeah, so like this, and then let's set the transparency color for this white color, and then let's click on OK. So we have imported our right view. So let's go for the front view. So for the front view, I'm going to take the image again, and for this I'm going to import another image on this front plane. That will be my front view. Okay, so this will be the same as 1.1 scaling, and let me go for the front view here, and let's drag it the center point to this. Here, let's see whether it got placed correctly. Yep, okay. If you need, you can also adjust it by your own. Okay, I think yeah, I think it will be fine. So yep, let's click on OK here, and yeah, sorry, like I have forgotten to set a transparency color for this, and then let's click on OK here. So at first, let me just create the side view first. So let's go for the model, and let's select the right plane, and let's go for the sketch, and let's go for the sketch view. Okay, so here I'm not going to take any dimensions because we just have an image, right? So we can directly take the reference of this image. Okay, so let's go on with the line tool. Start with the line, and from here till here, and I'm just going to create exactly like the same. We don't want to worry about this round, because after that we will be able to provide a round feature for this. We're just going to create a profile for this car, and then we can edit by our own. Okay, so yep, like this, like this, like this. Okay, and for this, like, let me just provide a awk feature for this from here till here, and yeah, like this. Okay, and let's draw a line from here till here. Okay, and then for this, you can use arc. this is fine for me. So let's draw a straight line from here till here, and then let's draw one more arc. Okay, we can directly try by creating an arc like this. Okay, I think this will be fine. Okay, so now let's go on with the line features from here till here, and like this. And for this mirror, you can either use arc tool for this, but let me check whether this arc tool is working. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine for me. So, yep. For the top, let's go on with the another arc from here till here. Okay, it has some tangent features. So let's okay. Let's click OK on here, and then we can able to create a fillet on this. Okay. So I don't want to edit this because this is okay for me. So then let's go for the back side. Here, a straight line from like this and like this, and line up to this. Okay. So then we can create another arc like this, and then let's join this by drawing a line like this. Why I am doing like this means because I don't have any exact dimension for this car, so I'm just going on with this image reference. And in our channel, like I have never uploaded a video before for accessing the image as a reference, so this will be the example for that video. Okay, so yep. So then let's draw one more arc from here. Okay, sorry. From here till here like this, and then one more arc from here till here like this. Okay, so then one more arc like this, and then let's draw a straight line from here till here. Okay, so we have completed our outer profile, so let's go for this bottom inner profile. So yep, so for this I'm just going to use this line as a reference like this, and up to this. Okay, good. And let's go for the 3-point tangent and arc from here um, till here. Yeah, so this will be the correct center point. And yeah, so now we need to measure this because we are going to create a tire feature for this, so we need to measure this. So this will be 68.85. So yeah, okay, a straight line, this. Okay, so then straight line like this, and let's measure this dimension from here till here, 69.37, but we need to edit this as 68.85. Okay, can't be edited because yeah, let's let's draw or let's plot a point in here, and let's take for the dimensions like from here till here it will be 68.85. Okay, so now we can able to draw a line from here to here. So then let's go for the arc from here till here, as this is a tangent arc for me. Okay, so yep, we have completed this profile, and now we can directly go for the extrude. So yep, it looks good, shading with edges, It looks really good. So this will be as a symmetric extrude, and we need to extrude this up to the image reference. So let me just drag like this. So let me just enter a total value as 168. So then, yep, okay, it looks exactly good and fine for me. So yeah, let's click OK here. So now we have created this right side profile. Okay, so then we need to create this front profile. As you can see, it looks like a square box, so we need to create some feature for this. So for this, let me go for the view again, and as you can able to see that our front image has been placed on the plane itself, so we can't able to trace that image. Okay, so for that, I'm going on for the image, and for the side view, we don't want the side view for now. Okay, so I'm just going to hide it. And for the front view, okay, so I'm just going to move this by using a normal like this. Okay, it looks good. So then let's click on OK. Or else, like if you need to increase this transparency of this image, and directly go for the 0 and then click on OK. So now you can able to see this dark lines here. Okay, so good. So let me just go for the front plane sketch again, and then let's go for the sketch view. Here, as the same before, we need to take reference for this image. Okay, so for this, um, like we can able to mirror this because both the sides will be same, right? So yep, just starting with the arc, yep, from here till here like this, and then a straight line. Okay, yep, a straight line from till here, and then one more arc from here, sorry, from here till here. Sorry, yep, from here till here like this, and yep, we need to create one more arc for this, like up to this. Okay, and one more arc from here till here, and then let's draw a line to extend this. Okay, yep, like this, like this, like this, like this, and like this. Okay, so yep, and then we can directly draw arc like this, like from here till here, like this, and let's draw a line like this. Okay, so then we can directly join here, and then we need to create one more arc. Yep, yeah, from here till here like this, or else from here till here. Okay, it looks good. So then we need to join this directly uh, by the other side. So I'm just going to select all this, and I'm going to mirror this towards this center line, and now we can able to join this by either by a spline, or else you can use conic arc for that. Okay, so yeah, let's try by conic arc whether this is okay for me or not. Okay, yeah, yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. Okay, so now for the bottom we need to do the same. So yeah, for the bottom, like we need it as a straight line, right? So okay, um, okay, so as you can see, we need to extend this. So uh, yeah, so we can directly by the go with the conic arc here again, and then let's drop the bottom like this, and then let's click on escape. So now let's go for the extrude view, and let's see whether this is fine for us, or else like we need to edit something else or not. Okay, So I'm just going to flip the direction like this. Okay. So yeah, sorry for this. We need to edit the sketch. So we are going to remove the material for the other sides, right? So I'm going to draw a corner rectangle like this, and then let's click on OK, and let's go for the extrude view here. Okay. So you can see, yeah, it is created good. So it's a symmetric extrude. Let's drag like this, and let's go for the remove material option, and you can able to see our part or front view is created like yeah, like a real car, right? So well, I think this is fine for me. Okay, so let's click on OK here, and then we don't want this image anymore, right? So we have traced by using all these images, so let me hide this image. Okay, so let's go for the model, and now like we are created using this reference, right? So we have created two extrudes. So for this we can't able to create a shell feature for this. As you can see here, it can't be created. Okay, so we need to create some other extrude for that, and then we have to um, remove the material for the inside. Okay, so let me just close this. I gone into this shell because for telling you guys that this tool won't work while we are using this extruded thing here. Okay, so let me just select this front plane and go for the extrude, and then go for the extruded view. So here like we are going to take inner extrude cut feature. So let me go for the center rectangle, for the center rectangle as a corner rectangle, like yep, from here and till here, and let's check, let's click on OK here. Let's see whether this is working good or not. Okay, drag it like this. Okay, it looks really good. Like we have not used shell tool because we can't able to use that. So we have used this tool as a extrude cut tool for creating a shell feature for this inside. Or else like if you need to create entire shell for this car, you can directly instead of creating this rectangle, you can directly select all these references and project them, and then you can offset this for a specific value, and then you can use this extrude cut feature. Okay, so let me just adjust this. um yep, I think this is okay for me. So let's give up a rounded value as 120, and then let's click on OK. So we can add what are all the attachments that we need to add in this part. You can also add by your own. So for a separate view of this window, like we can't able to sketch this because there's some curved feature here. um okay, okay, let me try with this plane. Okay, let me just select the front plane, and let's select this surface, and parallel, sorry, offset. So I think like we don't have any option for this. Okay, so we can't able to create this, or else like if we have created this as a flat surface, yep, let me just go for this. And here if you have created any, like let me just delete this, and instead of this, if I draw a straight line like this, if I click on OK here, so now we can able to edit this because this is a flat surface, right? So let's go for the sketch, and let's go for the sketch on this face. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to project this, this, and this, and this. Okay, so let's go for the offset loop, and let's like this entire thing, and let's enter a value of 5 for the first time. Okay, but it has been gone for the outside. So we need it as inside, so we need to put the negative value. So minus 10. Okay, this won't work. Sorry. Minus 5. Okay. Okay, it looks good. So let's go for the sketch view and let's delete the unwanted segments that we have. Okay. So delete this and delete this. So you can directly click on OK and let's go for the extrude, and this extrude value as 1, and you can see this has been created, or else like you can go for the 0.1 because we just want to separate this part. So this is a kind of mirror part, so that you have created like this. So yeah, on the back side also we can do the same, like yeah, project all this and including this line. Okay, so now let's go for the offset loop. Select this thing, -5. Okay, so yeah, so it has been taken on this curve. So let me just delete this and delete this and delete this line also. So we can directly join these two by creating our own line by ourselves. Okay. Okay, now let's go for the offset loop. Okay, sorry, loop, and then select this line. So this will be 5. Then close it. Now let's delete all the unwanted segments. Okay, so now we can extrude this to a value of 0.1, and then let's click on OK here. So now we have created this profile, and then we need to create a side view window for this, right? So let's go for the sketch and let's go for the sketch view. So here, like we can also take a reference on this by projecting this like this, and we can draw a line from here. Yep, till here like this. So then let's go for the offset. I just want to go for the chain like this and this. I think this two is okay for me, and let's go for the next. um, okay, so this will be enter a value of 5. Okay, let's close this, and now let's delete this bottom line and all these lines. Okay, so it looks good. So now let's draw a line from here till here until here, and then the same on the other side, like line from here up to this, and yeah, let's move this line a little bit far away from this. Okay, from here till here, and then till here, and yep, like this. Okay, let's delete this. Okay, we can also expand this, so this as 100. Let's see. Okay, it looks good. It looks really good, and let's increase this value as 10. Yep. So now let's extrude this the same value as, or else like let's go for the 1. Okay, it looks good, right? So yep, or else like you can directly go for the 0.1. I think this will be the like high value for this extrude. Let's click on OK here. So we need to do the same on the other side, so we just directly mirror this, and then let's click on OK here. So good. So now we have created this part, and what else do we need to create here? Okay, and yeah, then let me add some couple of round features for this. Like I said before, we can able to add by our own. So for this, so this will be let me give the minimum value for this. Okay, because we don't want this, I'm just creating this for the good view, better view for the model. Okay, so this is fine, and for this is fine. Okay, and for the okay, let's go for the other round. For this, let me just expand it like this, and let's enter the yeah, 3 is fine for me. Okay, and then if you need any round on the surface, you can add by your own. Okay, so I don't want this. And on the back side, I think everything is fine, but we need to create round feature for this. Okay, so let's go for the round again. mm, yep, for this, and then this. Okay, so let's click on okay here, and yeah, like I said before, if we need to provide any round feature for this, we just go for the high value. Let me drag it like this. Okay, it will broke the model like this if we bend like this. Okay, so let's give some rounded value of 20. You can see this extruded value is, this value is not allowing the model to extrude it. So 23, yeah, this is the first value that we have gone through, right? So okay, so this round is okay for me. So now we have created this profile, right? So yep, we have done this. And what else do we need to have? Yeah, so let me just go for the surface again, go for the extrude and go for the extruded view. I just want to wait, show you like this, because this mirror will be on the inside, right? So we need to extrude the outside part in the project for this also. Okay, so now we can extrude this to a value of 1. Think yep, it's okay. Okay, it looks good, right? Or else like let's go for this sketch, and let's add some couple of round feature for this. And now I'm going to delete this. I'm just directly going to join this to this, and the same on the opposite side. Let's delete this and then join by our own line. Okay, so then I'm going to add a fillet feature for this from here till here, and then from here till here, and from to this to this. Okay, so let's add a separate value for these 5 and 5, and this will be 6, and this will be 6. Say okay here, and now you can see this is extremely good, right? Seriously, it's a good thing. So yep, so now we have completed this profile, and if you need to add something else, you can add it by your own. And if I need to add something here, mm, um, I can add a number plate for this car. So yeah, so let me just go for the extrude and go for the extruded view. So here I'm going to draw circle like this and like this, and then let's click on OK here. And I need this circle to be extruded. It's like to select surface. I need this surface. Okay, so now we can able to create a plate for our car. So let's take a reference on this. let's go for the center rectangle, or else let's take a reference for this circle also. Okay, so now let's go for the center rectangle, constructive line. Okay, so now we can go for the center rectangle again. Okay, like this. I think this is too big. Let's reduce this as 35 and height value like from here till here. So it has some coincidence relationship. I don't want this is equal length. Okay. So this will be 20, even though now it is too big. Reduce this value as 30 and this as 15. So this will be fine. Okay, so now we can extrude this, and I need an extrude value of minimum value, right? So let's take it a value of 2 here because it will intersect on this extrude, or else let's go for the minimum value like okay, 1.8. It's okay for me, so let's click on OK here. So now let's add some text for this. So yeah, so we need to do the same for the backside first, so then we can add our text for this. Okay, so for the backside also we need to take a reference. So I mean, let me select this, but if we select this, this will intersect on this curve. Okay, so yeah, yeah, or else like we can able to create a separate plane for this, right? Select this plane and select this surface as a reference. Okay, so not for okay, let me just cancel this plane and up to this surface. Okay, good. So now let's go for the sketch, and then let's go for the sketch view here. So here I'm going to draw a center rectangle like yeah, like this. So this will be the same. Okay, it has some coincident relationship. So from here till here, um, this is vertical point on entry. Okay, good. I don't want this. So yeah, this will be 15. Sorry, I think it has some relationship here. So yeah, like this. So then we can able to adjust this height value as 15 and dimension like from here till here it will be 20, I think so, or else like let's go for 25. Okay, so now let's extrude this yep, to the same value of 1.80. Okay, so let's click on okay. So yeah, so this is fine. Like if we need to add anything else, you can directly add by your own, because this is fine for me. So these are all the basic specifications for a car, right? So I just added these things, and yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, so let's save this part. So this will be our first part, right? So let's save this. Okay, inside our okay, inside our okay, good. So let's save this. So now let's move on for the next part. And before that, I need to assemble this. So let's go for the assembly first. Assembly like car assembly, and I'm gonna say some design ABS. Okay, let me assemble the first part, like a car body part. Okay, So like I said before, we need to use this as a default position at first, and then let's click on OK here. Okay. Okay, so now like I said before, I need to create a text for this. So let's go for the sketch on the surface, and let's go for the sketch view here. So here I'm going to add a text on yep, like this. Okay, so text will be like let me keep our channel name as CC 2023. Okay, good. Okay, so now we need to reduce the size. So at first let's click on OK here, and I have to go for the edit this. So now let me select this and let's go for the rotate and resize. um I'm just going to rotate this. Okay, and let me reduce this scale value like this. Okay, and me drag like this, like here, and then let me expand this. Okay, and let's make it as a center. Okay, so let's click on OK here. I think this is fine. So yeah, we can directly extrude this. So this will be 0.1 as the same, and then let's click on OK here. Okay, it looks really good. Okay, and on the back also we need to do the same. So let's go for the sketch text, and let's go for the sketch view first, and yeah, like this. This will be the same as 2023, and okay. So now let's select this, rotate and resize, rotate like this, and let's reduce the scale value. Um, okay, okay, yeah. So now let's go for the extrude, and the value as 0.1 as the same, and then let's click on OK here. So yep, it looks really good. So now let's go for let's save our part first. Let's go for the assembly, and let's see whether it got regenerated here. So now we need to create tires, and the connecting rod, and the motor, and the belt mechanism for this car, right? So before that, let me go for the sectional view. So that will be very important, like if we are going to create any part inside this car, right? So let me go for the section, and this will be the y direction. So I'm going to select the y direction, and yeah, this is fine. So let's click on OK here. So this will be our sectional view. So if you don't want this, you can just click here, and if you unclick this active, and the section will be inactive like this. Okay, and if you make this as an active again, you can directly click active here. Okay, so we need to create a tire feature for this. So first, yeah, let me just select the surface, and let's measure all the dimension which we want to create our part, right? So let's go for the analysis. Sorry, uh, let me go for the reference first. Select this as a reference, and let me draw a circle like this. Yep, so this is okay for me. So this radius value, let's keep as a 60. So I think this tire, it looks good, right, with the value of 60. Okay, so good. So the diameter value will be 60, and for this um, okay, so let's select any flat surface like this, go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view, and let's measure this value. Okay, so yeah, corner rectangle, Okay. Mm, yep. So like this. So this will be 60, and let's see whether it hits any kind of models inside this part. Okay, it will be circular, right? So we don't want to worry about that. So let's see the width of the tire, and mm, 20. Yep. 20 is fine. I think so. Yeah, 60 and then 20. Okay. So we have measured our value. So let's go for the new, and let's create our tire part. So this will be the same for all the tires, right? So we don't want to make any kind of thing for that. Okay. So this will be tire, and then click the default template and the unit as mm spot solid ABS. So let me turn on all these datum planes, and let's go for the front sketch. Let's go for the sketch view here. And now I'm just going to draw a circle. Um, yeah, with a diameter value of 60. Okay, like we have measured before, right? And let's extrude this on the both sides with the value of 20, and let's see whether it size looks good or not. Yeah, it looks good. And yeah, we need to create a round feature for this. So let's go for the round, select this surface and select this surface, and let's see, this is a full round on this surface. Okay, so okay, we don't want this full round, right? So let me just okay, let me just close this, and we can add our own dimensions here. So I don't want this 23. Let me just reduce this to a value of 5, and on the other hand it will be the same as 5. Okay, so then um like yeah, we need to create inner rim, right? So let's click on the surface, let's extrude the inner hole. So let's create a circle. um yeah, up to this. So let's have a roundup value of 45. Okay, and then let's remove the material on the both sides. Yeah, so let me just select the front plane again, go for the extrude, and then go for the extruded view. So for the inner rod, for connecting rod for the two circles, um, I'm just going to enter this inner radius for this as a value of yeah, yeah, 6 is fine. And for the outer, let me take the value as 9. um yep, it's okay. So let's click on OK here, and let's extrude as a symmetric extrude, or else let's select next surface like this surface. And for the side 2, it's like the two select surface as this. Okay, okay, it looks good. Or else, like, if you need to add any particular value for this, like, let me go on with the values first. Or else, like, we can directly go for the symmetric, and let's enter a value of 10 for this, and then let's click on OK here. Okay, and then we need to create a rib feature for this. So for that, let me select this, and let's go for the extrude, and then for the sketch view. At first, let's take a reference for this outer circle and this inner circle, and let's start creating our rib parts, right? So at first, um, yeah, let me draw a line from here till here, and let me go for the arc from here till this. So like a 3-point tangent arc from here. Yeah, tangent to the circle, and on the same on the top. Like it should be tangent to the circle. So let me just search for the correct tangent location. Yeah, or else let's go from here till here. like this. Okay, so this will be fine. So I'm just going to select all this, mirror towards this center line, and then let's project these circles. So now let's delete all these unwanted segments. Okay, so then we need to project on the bottom also. So let's select this and this. Let's delete unwanted. And then you may see that we have segments which we don't want. So let's delete all this and let's complete our sketch here. So now let's extrude this. So this will be symmetric extrude, and let's enter a minimum value of 5. 5 is too high, I think so. Let's go for the value of 3, and then let's click on OK here. So now we need to do the same for this. Okay, so let's select this extrude. Let's go for the pattern, and let's go for the axis pattern. Let's select this axis, and yeah, let's enter a value of 8 at first. If that is okay for us, let's directly click on OK here. Okay, it looks really good. Okay, it looks fine. So on this face, I just want to add our channel logo here. So let me go for the circle like this. Okay, and I need to extrude this to a value of 1 or else like 0.5. Okay, so now here I'm going to add a text here. Select this circle, sketch, and go for the text, and then go for the sketch view. Here, from here till here, so let me add a text of CC here, and let's click on escape, and then let's rotate and resize this part. Yep, like this, and then we can able to reduce this, right? So let's make it as a center, and then let's click on OK here, and I need to extrude this to a value of 0.1, and or else let's go for the 0.2, and then let's click on OK here. Okay, so it looks good. So let's go and assemble this tire part. First of all, let's save this part. Let's go for the assembly and let's check whether this looks good or not. Let's make it as a active part, and yeah, let's go and check whether this tire part is assembling is good. Okay, so let's rotate this part like this and like this, and let's go for the let's go for the right view, and let's rotate it like this, and now let's drag this. Okay, I think this is very good. It looks good. So tire part is done, so let's cancel this and let's assemble with all the parts. Okay, so yep, so then we need to measure the length of the rod, right? So for that, yeah, let me check once whether our tire has a width of let's go for this extrude. So this has a width of 20, right? So um let's go for the assembly. So on this flat surface, let's go for the sketch, and then let's go for the sketch view here. So here at first, let me just draw a corner rectangle. um, yep, so this is fine. Corner rectangle like from here till here, on this height as 20. Okay, so then the same, or else like we can directly mirror this. So this is just for measuring the value. Okay, so then um, let's go for the tire part again. Okay, okay, so yeah, we need to extend this, and yeah, we can directly go for the assembly first. Okay, So at first let me just draw one more corner rectangle like this, and this height value, uh, so this will be 10 at the first because it's the center point, and from the center point let me just divide a value of 5 here. Okay, and then let's draw a line like this, and this distance will be the 5 as same. Okay, and now let's draw a line from this midpoint to this midpoint, and then let's measure this line value, and this will be 158. Okay, so let's cancel this. Okay, let's create our new part as connecting rod, and unit as one as part solid ABS. Let's go for the top view, extrude, go for the extruded view. On this, I'm going to draw a circle with the diameter value of 6 and with an extrude length of 158. That is what we have measured right now, right? So let's click on OK, and yep, it looks good. It looks really good. So let's go for the assembly and let's check for the one more time here, and yep, uh, yeah, it got placed here, but um, mm, yeah, so we need to place this rod, right? So for placing that rod we need to have a circular part here. So we may create an axis for that. So let's go for the axis, and let's select this surface, and then we will go to our axis first. So we can directly place our rod here. So at first let me save the part. Yeah, okay, so yeah, let me save this part, and then once again I need to go for the tire view, and mm, so this extrude, so I need this side to have some separate value because we have extruded that, right? So let's go for the options, and this is blind, and this will be the blind. So for this I have a value of 5, and for this the 10 is right. Okay, so yeah, we have created a rod for this. So yeah, so yep, this is fine, this is fine, but I need to create an inner circle extrude again. So let's go for the extrude again. From that face till here I need a value of 5. Okay, I think it will be good now. Okay, so let's save this and let's go for the assembly. Now let's try assembling our parts. Okay, let's go for the connecting rod, and I need this as a pin mechanism. So select this axis and this axis, and then select this front plane and this entire front plane. Okay, we got assembled our part, and yeah, for the tires, let's go for the tire view, and so this is also as a rotating part, right? So let's go for the pin again, or else you can directly use any kind of like a default constraint for this. Okay, so select this axis and this axis, and then select this face and the inner face of this. Okay, I think it looks good, looks really good on this face. So let's click on OK here, and then we need to do the same for the other side. mm, yeah, so we can directly repeat this part, repeat. um, yep, so the axis surface, add, and the axis on the surface. So now we have created and we have assembled our two tires on the front. Okay, so it looks good, right? um yep. um okay, or else like if you need to add any cover for this rod, you can add by your own. Okay, so or else like let me just do one more thing here. Let's select this. Let's yeah, let me just make this car body as an active part, and let me just sketch on the front plane and go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view here. So I just need to take a reference on this. Okay, let me just go for this. Okay, so now I'm going to take a reference like from here till here as an arc feature for this. And yeah, and then one more arc. Let me take a reference on this. Okay, now we can't able to take a reference, so we can directly um yep, we can directly project this. Okay, so sorry, offset this to a value of 1, and yeah, let me just draw a line like this and like this and this, because this is just for covering our part, right? So we can able to create it by our own. Okay, so let's click on OK, and let's go for the extrude here. And now let's go for the symmetric extrude, and we can drag this like this. Okay, so let's go for the bottom view, and let's see our extrude length here. Okay, so yeah, so this is fine. Let's enter a value of 120, and then let's click on OK here. And now let's active this entire assembly, and then you can able to see our car part is created for the back side, and now we can able to rotate this part, right? um, okay, so then for the back side, it needs some lot of work, because we are going to um, create a belt mechanism for this, and we are going to rotate this car, right? So yeah guys, so we can directly go for that, and we can continue with our sketch. Okay, so yeah, so for that, like, we need to create a separate motor inside this. Let's have some sectional view for this. We need to create a separate motor here, and then a separate rod, and then two tires. For the tires and rods, we don't want to create this, we just want to create a belt mechanism for this, right? So yep, uh, so let me just make this car body as an active part, and now I'm going to extrude here, and let me just take a reference on this here. And now I'm going to create a rectangle like this, and I'm going to use the extrude cut option here, because I don't want this. We need to create a belt mechanism for this, right? So let me just create a corner rectangle. um yeah, from here till here. So now let's remove the material, flip the direction like this, and then let's click on OK here. So now we can place the motor here, and then we can able to place our rod here, right? So yep, I think it's fine, but yeah, we need to create a rod for placing our connecting rod, right? So now let's create a rib for inserting the rod, right? Connecting rod. So let's select this surface and let's go for the extrude. And yeah, I think we can't able to create this. So we can open this part separately and then we can able to create, I think so. So this will be the curved surface, and yeah, we can't able to create, or else like yeah, like I said before, we can able to create a plane. um okay, plane like here. Okay, let's go for the right view and let's place the as a center. Okay, so this is fine because anyway we are going to extrude the part, right? So let's extrude this and go for the extruded view, and I'm just going to have a sectional view for this. And when we go for the sectional view, we need to take a reference on this side. Let me just close this and yeah, close it one more time here. So let's go for the extrude and let's go for the extruded view again. So let's, I think we have some font here, right? So go for the plane and I just want to flip the direction towards this side and then okay. So now let's extrude this, go for the extruded view, and let's have a sectional view for this. And let's have a reference for this and for this and for this and for this. Okay, so let's go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to create a corner rectangle like from here, yep, like this, and the same on the other side, like yeah, from here, or else like yeah, from here like this. Okay, so let's edit the dimensions. So this height, I don't want this as a point on entry. Let's delete this and let's see this height again. 3.5. Okay, so let's enter the same height as 3.5, and this distance will be 15, and here like I mentioned, like from here till here it will be 15. Okay, good. So now let's extrude this, and yeah, so I'm just going to minimize this, and let's go for the options. For the side one, I'm going to select this surface, and for the side two, I'm going to select this surface. Okay, it looks good. So now I need to create a circular feature here. So let me just go for the extrude and go for the extruded view, and let's take a reference on this line, on this line, on this. Okay, so let me just draw a circle at this midpoint, and we need to find this. Okay, so excuse me. So this will be 3.5 divided by 2. Okay, so let's draw a circle um like with the value of yeah, the value of 8, and then let's click on OK here. So now I need it as a symmetric extrude with the value of 5. Okay, so let's create another extrude on this surface. Let's go for the extruded view. On this, let me take a reference of the previous circle, and then I'm going to draw the same circle here again. Okay, so let me just draw a circle diameter of 60. As you can see, it interferes the top part. So let me just close this, and let me just close this also. So for the new extrude, let me go for the edit sketch, and I don't want this sketch. Okay, let me just read this circle, and let me just find the reference. So this will be the circle, right? So this will be the center point. So I'm going to draw a circle like this, and this as a value of 15, and then let's say okay here. And then now let's as a symmetric extrude, not for symmetric extrude, I'm going to flip the direction and blind, yep, up to the selected surface as this. Okay, so then click on OK, and yeah, and like we need to do the same extrude on the other side. So let's go for the mirror and let's select the center plane, and yep, it's okay, good. So yep, yeah, okay. So now let's select this surface again. Let's go for the extrude, and then let's go for the extrude view. So now here I'm going to create a whole feature for entering for inserting or connecting rod, right? So let's enter a value, radius value as 6, and then let's click on OK and flip the direction, and let's say the next surface as this, and then let's click on OK here. So now we have created a connecting rod for this, and now we can directly um, enter a rod for this. So yep, for this rod, at first I'm going to create a disk for this, for creating a belt mechanism. Okay, so let's save this part first, and let's go for the assembly, and you can see this is created. Okay, good. So now I need to create let me check for the one more time. Let me go for the body part, and then let's select this surface, and let's go for the extrude. And for the extrude view, if I enter a value of 60 at this center point, it doesn't intersect on the external part, right? So okay, good. So let me just create a disk for this. So let's go for the new, and this will be okay, large disk, and this will be spot solid ABS. Okay, good. So now let's go for the front plane extrude, and then go for the extrude, and let's draw a circle, and let's draw one more circle. Okay, so inner dia will be 6 as a whole, and outer dia will be 20, and let's check whether this is good or yeah, okay, so this is fine, and let's click on OK, and let's extrude this as a symmetric extrude. Let's enter a value of 10 is too big, so let's go for a value of 6. Okay, so let's select this plane, go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to draw a line from here till here, and from here till here. So this distance will be 1, and this will be 1, and let me draw one more line at the bottom like this, and this height will be 2. Okay, so this will be our belt height, or else if you need to reduce this to 1.5, you can also do that. So let's draw a line like this, and then like this. So let's set a value of 120 for this angle and 120 for the same. Okay, so now let's delete this, and let's draw a line like this, and let's draw a center line. So we are going to revolve this as a remove material feature. So revolve, and then okay, so we have created our disk. So let me create some hole for the disk. Okay, so let's go for the reference, and let's have a reference for this inner circle, and here I'm going to draw a circle like this, and this will be 1.5, and this will be 6 as a rounded value. Okay, so now I'm going to flip the direction, select this depth as 2 next. Okay, so now let's pattern it as a axis pattern. Select this axis, and let's enter a value of 6, equally spaced, and then click on OK. So now we have created our disk part. So yep, it looks good. So let's save this part. Okay, so yeah, so let's go for the assembly for one more time here. Okay, like we can directly place our disk by using this axis, and we can place our rod, and we can place our tire. And then for the disk we need to create one more disk here which has been connected to the motor. And yep, so let me select this surface and let's go for the sketch. And yeah, so let me open this part separately. So let's go for the body part. Yep, so let's go for the sectional view. Okay, so on this face, going on with the extrude. Okay, so we need to have a reference on this center point. And mm, yep, okay, so at first I'm going to create a line like this. So this height will be 5. Okay, so now yeah, so let's delete this. Let's plot a point at first. This will be 5. And then let's go for the corner rectangle, like yep, like this. And 35 surrounded value, 20 a surrounded value, and let's place this as a distance of 2, or else let's place on the center plane itself. Okay, so let's click on OK, and now I need to extrude this to a value of so that will be the disk as a diameter value of 10 means, so it will be 20, or else let's go for the bigger value of 30. Okay, so this will not impact our part. Okay, so let's go for the round. Select this surface and select this surface, and let's go for the full round on this surface, and let's click on OK here. So now let's sketch on this face. Okay, so before that I need to take some sectional view for that, so I'm just going to make this active for this. And let's turn on the coordinate display. So this will be our X direction. So let's go for the view, section, and X direction. And yep, so this is fine. Let me select this surface and go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So here let me take a reference for this, and let me go for the okay, let me close the sketch. Let me go for the disk one more time. Here we have um okay, let me just edit this. So this will be 6, and this will be 10. Okay, so radius will be 6. Okay, good. So here we can go for the car body, select the surface, go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view. Here we need to take a reference for this, and let's draw a circle with a radius of 6, and then OK. Now I'm going to extrude this, flip the direction to a depth of 10. Okay, so now we have created this is just for a visualization, so I've just created a motor like this. Okay, so so then we need to create let me just save this part. So we need to create a route for the motor, or motor, and ABS part, sorry, ABS. Okay, so for the top view extrude, I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter of 6, and with an extruded value as a symmetric extrude as a value of 20. Okay, so now let's save this part, and yep, we need to create a smaller disk for that. So let me just go for the cart body, and let's measure this diameter. This will be 20. Okay, good. So yep, so let's go for the new and smaller disk, and click the default template, and template as CMMN support solid ABS. And for the front sketch extrude, I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter value of 20 and with the node radius as 6, and then let's click on OK here, and I'm going to extrude this to a value of 10. Okay, so now yes, sorry, I don't want this because I just want to minimize the value as 5. So now we can able to create a disk feature for that, but before that let me just have a value of 10 here itself. Okay, so let's select this surface, go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So yeah, let me just close this, and let's see the extruded length for the larger disk first. So this extrude value is 6, right? So we need to do the same for that. So yep, it will be 6. Okay, so select this plane, go for the sketch, and then go for the sketch view. Here we have to do the same which we have done before, right? For the 1 and 1 and like this. So this will be 1. So this will be 1, and this will be 1.5. And let's draw a line like here and like this. This is 120 and this is 120. So now let's delete all this, and now let's complete our sketch by closing this sketch. Okay, so now let's go and create a center line for this, and let's go for the revolve. Okay, so now we need to create a whole features for this. So circle like this, and flip the direction, or else let make it as through all extrude pattern as a axis pattern like this, and this will be 6 and 360. Okay, so now we have created a smaller disk, so let's save this part. Sorry. Okay, so now let's go for the assembly, and let's check whether this got assembled good or not. Okay, so at first I need to place this rod. So rod for motor, so I'm going to place this as a pin because this has some rotational part, right? Axis, and then this axis, and this face on the motor interface. Okay, it looks good. So yep, so we need to place over a smaller disk here. Okay, so this will be also a pin mechanism. So pin, axis, and sorry, this axis. And for this, for the plane, I'm just going to select this plane, and yep. So let's go on with the face like this face and this face. So let me just go for the front view, sorry, top view. and here you can see this reference is not placed here. So this will not be distance, so this is not a coincidence, so this will be distance, right? So like this, and then the value as 2. Okay, good. Okay, so now we have placed our smaller disk. So let me just turn off all the plain display here. Let's see CYS display. Just access is okay for me. So yep. So we can directly go on with our larger disk. So this will be pin. So this axis and this axis. And let's go for the plane display. So this plane and this front plane. Okay. So then we can directly place our connecting rod here. So let's go for the connecting rod, open it, and pin for this and this axis. And for the plane, select this center plane and the disk, okay, or else like let's select this whole center plane here. Okay. So now let's mm, assemble our tire part. Okay, so or else like we can directly repeat this because we have already assembled our part, right? So tire, I'm going to repeat this axis and surface, add axis and surface. Okay, sorry, like okay, first I think let me just undo it. Okay, it's not working. Okay, undo. Got this. So we can directly place this tire. Okay, so we don't want to waste time on this. Just flip like this and flip like this. So this will be pin. Select this axis and this axis and sorry, this face and this tire interface. Okay, so now we have assembled our tire part, and for this side we have to do the same. So now we can able to do the repeat option here. Surface, add axis on the surface. So yep, we have assembled this part. So now we can like let me check for the, let me just delete all this, and then let's drag our components once this disk rotates, whether tire can be able to rotate or not. Okay, okay, it's not rotating because like for the connecting rod, like we have created a reference for this, right? So let me just go for the placement and remove all this. Okay, so now we need to repeat this all because we have done a mistake here. Okay, so let's assemble the part of connecting rod here. I need to turn on the axis display and I need to select this center axis of the disk. Oh, sorry, with the plane, sorry, with the pin mechanism, and or else you can directly go for the user defined because all these things will work. So this and this, so this will be coincident, and let's go for the plane display. So this and this, so this will be coincident. Okay, so okay, let's check for the one more time whether it can be rotated now or not. Okay, it is rotated. Good. So now let's assemble our tire part. Let me just take it as a user defined because we don't want to use as a pin. Let's treat it like this. And first we need to select the axis, and yep, this axis as a coincident, and then select this face and yep, this inner surface as a coincident. Okay, so we have to do the same for the opposite side. So let's repeat this. Axis and surface, add, select this axis and this surface. Okay, so now let's check whether it can be rotated or not. Okay, drag the components. Okay, now it can be rotated. Good. And let's check for this also. Like when we rotate this, the disk should be rotated. Good. So now we have completed this part. So now we can directly go for the belt mechanism for this. Okay. So yeah, let me just go for the sketch view and let's see whether this is got placed at the midpoint. Okay. So the surface here it got placed. Okay, good. So let's close this. And now we can directly go for the applications mechanism, and here we can go for the belt feature. Okay, so for this we turn off all these plane displays, this surface and this surface. Now our belt is got created, it looks good. So let's click on OK here, and now we need to create some profile for this belt, right? So go for the connections, go for the belt, and if you click on the right click here, we need to make a part, and let's rename our part as belt model. Okay, and as a empty. Okay, so yep, you can see now. Let's close this, and now here you can see the belt model is got created. Let's make it as an active, and let's create some sweep feature for this. Select this, select this, select this, and then select this. So here you can see we need to go for the reference details, and let's remove all this, and let's select this. Okay, sorry, select this, this. Now you can see this is um, single belt as a sweep function. So let's click OK. So now let's go for the sketch, and now let's go for the sketch view here. So let's take a reference for this, and this, and this. So now let's like even if we can project like this, or else you can draw a line by your own, right? So let's click on OK here, and you can see our belt as a feature here, right? Okay, it looks really good. So now let's click on OK, and let's make this entire car assembly as an active part. And yeah, let's drag this. Let me check whether this will work. Okay, now you can see this belt drive is working. Okay, so now we can load our motors here. So let's go for the applications, mechanism, and servo motors. And now I'm going to select this, and let's go for the profile details, angular velocity and the coefficient as 30, and then let's click on OK here. So now we have created a single motor for our back side, but we need to create another motor for the front side also. Okay, so let me drag this whether this will work. Okay, it's working. So now let's go on creating a motors on the central rod itself. Okay, so let's go for the angular velocity with a value of 30, and then let's click on OK. So now let's close this, and let's hide this section view, and yep. So now yep, so we can directly start our mechanism here. Let's check whether this can be rotated here or not, because whether our motor will be on the front side or back side. We need to fix the direction, right? So mechanism analysis, let's just run like this. So this will be good. Let's have a runtime of 100 and let's check. Okay, so this will be good, but for this is a kind of backside direction, right? So I need to flip this. So yep, let's go for the motor 2. Select this. Okay, so this is correct. So for the backside we need to flip this, right? So for the backside, yep, we can flip the direction and then let's click on OK. Now let's check for the one more time here. Yeah, it looks really good. So now we close this. I don't want to save this. Okay, so now we can give some appearances for our car. So let me go for this. Yeah, fabric color is okay. So I'm just going to give red color for this entire car part. It looks black now, but if you go for the shading with reflection, you may have some good appearances here. Okay, so and then a light color mirror colors as a glass color for the mirrors which we have created here and here and here. Okay, so yep, and you can see there is no transparency here, so let's edit this transparency to low. Yep, yeah, like this. So I think this will be fine, or else if we need to edit this um, more like yeah, let's go on with the value of 10 here. Okay, so yep, we have created color for this, and then let's give some white color for our plate, number plate here. Okay, the surface this and this and yep, for this side, and the same white color for the back color also, back side also as a surface. Select this, select this, select this, and select this, and for the bottom also. And let me check whether we have given color for this bottom. Okay, so let's select this and let's click OK here. So now we have given color for this, and for the tires I'm just going to give a fabricated black color for this and for this and for this. So then let's give some metallic color for this inner parts, and yeah, for the inner disc and for the inner rod. Okay, so then yeah, let's click on OK here, and if you go for shading with reflections, let's check whether this is working good. Okay, good. So okay, so yep, I think this is fine, and let's give some white little stripes on the side. Let's go for the surface, and select this surface and this, and on the other side the same as this, and on the back we can give for this. So I think this is good, really good. And then we can add a separate white color for the, if you need for the one more surface you can add it by your own. Okay, so this surface, and yep, for this surface I think this is same. Okay, and for the front, if you need you can also add that like this. Okay, good, really good. So now let me go for the shading with the reflections, and you can able to see our car is looking good, right? So I think I don't want this front color here, so we just delete this. Okay, so now let's run this car by having this appearances. Okay, so let's go for the applications. mechanism and mechanism analysis here. Okay, and yeah. So before that, I need to hide this because I can see this keep on highlighting here. So this will be the belt. So we can't able to hide that, right? Okay, so okay, let's leave it as it is. And now we go for the mechanism analysis, and let's have an interval of 1000 and a value of 5 here. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so now you can see this backside has a very low speed when compared to the front tire. Okay, so let's go for the um applications, and let's go for the mechanism, and I'm going to select this motor. And for this coefficient, let me just reduce this to 10, and then let's click on OK here. So now let's try running this part. Okay, this will be very slow when compared to that. Okay, so we need to increase this part, I think so. 50. Okay, and yeah, let's run this. Okay, always like, let me increase for the one more time here. 100. Okay, so now let's rotate this. Okay, because it has some belt drive, right? So it may be like having some increased or decreased speed. Okay, so we don't want to worry about that. So that's all, guys. Like, we have completed this part. So thanks for watching. So if you want more videos related mechanical engineering or any other content, you can comment below. And if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe. And we will upload videos based on Creo and Power BI on a daily basis. So keep on supporting me. Okay. So thank you, guys. We will see you next video. Until then, bye.